what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on The Quick Draw, it's all about being versatile when we take a look at the Redeemer. So after the reveal on DevStream 41, the Gunblade was easily one of the most anticipated weapons, as so many players have been asking for a hybrid weapon for some time. However, if history has taught us anything, it's to be careful what we ask for. As we've seen with the Silva and Aegis, sometimes gimmicky weapons are more about the gimmick and less about the usability, which sadly seems to be the case for the Redeemer. Now, while objectively it may not top the charts, subjectively, it's definitely a blast. So you can pick up the Redeemer's blueprint in the market for 20,000 credits. Just be aware that you will need a fully built Vasto and dual Skana as a part of the component cost. It's also gated off at Mastery Rank 4. However, you can probably tell where I'm going with this. If you have no patience to rebuild a single Vasto since you use them to make the Ak Vasto, you can pick this up pre-built along with a weapon slot and a catalyst for 175 plat. Now, its base damage is primarily slashing, making this great against the infested and other fleshy targets. However, especially when up against armored and robotic enemy units, be sure to equip the appropriate elemental combos in order to ensure the optimal amount of damage. So let's get straight to the nitty-gritty. Stat-wise, the Redeemer is incredibly unimpressive, with its base damage falling well below par, and attack speed that's equally as painful. Well, personally, I didn't hate putting a Spoiled Strike on this to help compensate for the low base damage, but admittedly, even with the Fury equipped, it did feel kind of like I was swinging around a purse. A big bladed purse, fully equipped with a shotgun, but a purse nonetheless. Its supplemental stats are also nothing to get excited over, as its status sits at a measly 10% and its crit chance and crit multiplier aren't even worth mentioning. As for its stance high noon, its combos look super badass, however the shooting mechanic does tend to lock you down in animations, and since all of those are forward facing attacks, it's very easy to miss or even shoot over or past the target you're aiming at, but we'll get in depth with that in a different video. Now, while it has its issues, the Redeemer definitely does redeem itself with its one unique mechanic. Utilizing the charge function similar to the Glaive, you're able to pelt your enemies with a volley of bullets from the Redeemer's built-in shotgun. Now, while it does have a fairly tight spread and no damage fall off, it does seem to have an effective range of approximately 15 meters. In playtesting, I honestly haven't been able to hit an enemy unit beyond that reliably. Its damage can also be multiplied by channeling. Just be aware when firing that each individual bullet will count as a channeling strike, and will drain energy. In addition, while this doesn't quite match up to the power of a traditional shotgun secondary, it does have innate punch through and is affected by stealth modifiers. That right there is its saving grace, as the stealth multiplier quadruples the amount of damage of each shot. So, if you couldn't already tell, this is gonna work extremely well with Loki, Ashe, and Excalibur's running a radial blind build. However, other frames may be slightly boned. Now, speaking of niche boning, can we talk? Okay, so I genuinely tried to find the most eloquent way to put this. However, I don't think I quite hit the mark. The Redeemer is kind of like anal bleaching. Now, hear me out. Some people really like playing stealth frames, just like how some people really like tossing a salad. For these folks, they now have something new and pretty to play with. And while it definitely may not interest the majority of us, it generally improves their experience. So why shit on their day, right? No, as for me, while I do quite enjoy playing stealth frames, salads have never quite been my thing. I much prefer a big meaty tenderloin, if you know what I mean. Now, our consumption preferences aside, let's get back to the quick draw. So all in all, the Redeemer is alright. I do say that begrudgingly though. The fact is, while it's not on a stealth frame, its damage is quite low, but it does slightly make up for it in versatility. No more needing to whip out a pistol to take down security cameras or really irritating drones. While that may or may not mean much to other people, it's a big point in my book. Also, take note that when holstered, its attack speed definitely feels a bit faster and its shotgun burst can still be used. So while it's definitely not going to be for everyone, the Redeemer definitely fills my niche. So thank you all for watching another episode of The Quick Draw. If you haven't already caught it, be sure to check out Mesa's rundown, as well as my snapshot on the Syndicate mod Prolonged Paralysis. Now, don't forget to do the thing that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned for more less than eloquent salad references here at A Gay Guy Plays. No, this doesn't remotely seem like a cult at all. Not even in the least bit. What a bunch of fucking creepos.